Fade in. Interior Security Unit Number 84, Night. MCU Captain Wilhelm Gunther, 31M, is sitting against a black background lit by a single hanging lamp. He is wearing a standard issue U.S. Army khaki shirt and trousers stenciled with the letters PW. Cheerin, Captain Wilhelm Gunther. Cap Cecil Parshall, OS.
Can you tell me how this all started?
Capt Wilhelm Gunther.
This all started when you housed all us troublemakers together in Compound 1A and we discovered the blind spot in the guard towers.
Fade in. Graphic, map of Camp Papago Park zooms into Compound 1A to show the field of view of the two guard towers. A dotted line grows under the fence towards the on the map as he continues to narrate. Capt Wilhelm Gunther, OS.
We started tunneling sometime in September. We worked in 90-minute shifts of 3-man crews digging near a bathhouse. We would go in, ostensibly to shower, sometimes excavate up to 3 feet per night, and a fourth crew would get rid of the dirt the next day.
Cut back to Wilhelm. Capt Wilhelm Gunther.
We eventually convinced you Americans to let us build a Faust ball court. I believe you Americans call it volleyball, which we smoothed out with rakes you graciously provided.
Interior Security Unit Number 84, Night. MCU Lieutenant Wolfgang Claris, M, sitting in the same environment wearing similar clothing. Cheerin, Lieutenant Wolfgang Claris. LT Wolfgang Claris.
I found a map left on the dashboard of one of the military's trucks and brought it back to Compound 1A to show to the captain.
Interior Compound 1A, Night. MCU of a table as Wolfgang's hands spread out the map on the table. LT Wolfgang Claris, OS.
That's when we discovered our ticket to freedom. The Gila River.
CU of map as Wilhelm puts his finger on the blue line of the Gila River. A line traces a path to the Gulf of Cortez as Wolfgang continues to speak. LT Wolfgang Claris, OS.
Instead of the 130-mile trek to Mexico, we could build a flatboat and only have to traverse 30 miles to the Gila River and then we would float down the Colorado River to the Gulf of Cortez and freedom.
Interior Security Unit Number 84, Night. MCU Lieutenant Friedrich Utzelino, M, sitting in the same environment wearing similar clothing. Cheerin, Lieutenant Friedrich Utzelino. LT Friedrich Utzelino.
That's when they started calling us the Three Crazy Boatmen.
Interior Compound 1A, Night. MCU of the table with the map on it. Hands start dropping various bits of rubber and wood scraps as Friedrich continues his story. LT Friedrich Utzelino, OS.
The boat was designed to be folded up and carried in 18-inch segments. The guards just thought we were making handicrafts.
Cut back to Friedrich. LT Friedrich Utzelino.
The captain suggested we gather toasted bread crumbs that would be mixed with milk or water for provisions.
Cut back to Wilhelm. Capt Wilhelm Gunther.
The plan was set.
Fade 2. Exterior Desert, Night. WS of 3 men silhouetted against the desert landscape. Capt Wilhelm Gunther, OS.
On December 23, Compound 1B began to loudly celebrate news of the Battle of the Bulge as Compound 1A quietly began our escape.
LT Wolfgang Claris, OS.
10 teams of 2 to 3 men left with packs of clothing, provisions, and false credentials, escaping by crawling through their tunnel. 25 men in all escaped into Papago Park that night.
Cut back to Wilhelm. Capt Wilhelm Gunther.
We knew you wouldn't discover that we had escaped until the next afternoon thanks to your policy of not doing roll call for officers on Sunday mornings.
Fade 2. Exterior Desert, Night. WS of 3 men making their way through the desert night trying to avoid cactus and other perils. LT Friedrich Utzelino, OS.
It was a miserable 30-mile hike through the Cholya cactus and the rain.
Cut back to Wolfgang. LT Wolfgang Claris.
Each night we used the stars to find our position as we ate our rations and dreamed of freedom.
Cut back to Friedrich. LT Friedrich Utzelino.
Bread soaked in water never tasted so good.
Cut back to Wilhelm. Capt Wilhelm Gunther.
The last night before we reached the river we celebrated by adding the breadcrumbs to the chocolate powder Wolfgang smuggled out.
Exterior Desert, Morning. WS as the 3 men crest a hill to find a dry river bed with a hasty sign that says Gila River. Capt Wilhelm Gunther, OS.
Arizonans are liberal with their use of labeling rivers on maps.
LT Wolfgang Claris, OS.
Our dreams were crushed.
LT Friedrich Utzelino, OS.
We dropped our boat in the puddles and started to make our way south.
WS of them dropping their boat and sluggishly walking off in the opposite direction. Cut back to Wilhelm. Capt Wilhelm Gunther.
After 11 days on the run we were determined that we could still make it the 130 miles to Mexico.
Cut back to Wolfgang. LT Wolfgang Claris.
The next morning it finally stopped raining and I needed to get clean. So I left the captain and Frederick to sleep as I went to find a pool big enough for a relaxing bath.
Fade 2. MWS of Wolfgang walking up to a desert pond and stripping off his dirty clothes as a cowboy watering his horse looks up and sees him. LT Wolfgang Claris, OS.
That's when I walked right up to a cowboy watering his horse downstream.
Cut back to Wolfgang. LT Wolfgang Claris.
I simply raised my hands in surrender. We had heard that American cowboys like to shoot first and ask questions later.
Cut back to Friedrich. LT Friedrich Utzelino.
I woke up to a cowboy poking me with a shotgun.
Cut back to Wilhelm. Capt Wilhelm Gunther.
And here we are back where we started. So what is our punishment?
Cap Cecil Parshall, OS.
You're all on rations of bread and water for the 11 days you were missing.
Fade to black.